Hello everyone, welcome back to the 20 Doof channel, and this is the 2013 Peugeot 508 Allure Touring Wagon. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is doing a complete overview of this car, so driving it, what's under the bonnet, everything else about this car you're going to see in this video. So let's get into it. So let's start off at the front of the Peugeot 508, and as you can see, it's very distinctive Peugeot. It's kind of got that very French look to it. You've got your headlights there and there. You've got your little Peugeot badge on the bonnet. And in case you didn't know it was a Peugeot, it is spelled out in the grille, which is very, very nice. You've got your little fog lights down here, parking sensors, all that going on at the front there. And overall, it looks like a Peugeot at the front end. Let's move around to the side of the Peugeot 508. And as you can see, it's a wagon. So in case the name didn't give it away, this is actually a wagon. So obviously practicality and a very sleek side profile. It is a very smooth looking side profile. I suppose it's very round, I suppose. Not many creases or angles. It's just it's a side to a vehicle. And you've got the two-layer roof racks up the top as well, with the huge panoramic sunroof with no issues at all. And I think the side of this car looks like a car. It looks like a wagon. And obviously you have these 18-inch wheels, and they look like Peugeot wheels. There's nothing too distinct about these particular Peugeot wheels. They do look like Peugeot wheels, so that is all nice and good. Moving around to the rear of the Peugeot 508, it looks like, you guessed it, it looks like a wagon. Sort of actually kind of gives hearse vibes as well, but it looks, obviously you got your little Peugeot 508 badge there, got your little Peugeot spelled out there, and the little Peugeot badge just there too. Got your rear wiper, and underneath you got your parking sensors, and no sign of any exhaust tip, actually, which is very interesting. But I bet all of you are dying to hear how it sounds, so I think we should start it up and give it a quick little rev. As you can hear, it sounds pretty good for a diesel, I would say. It kind of reminds me of a 1.9 TDI, but then again, it is a diesel. Most diesels do sound pretty damn similar. On the subject of the engine, I think we should go pop the bonnet and see what is lurking under the bonnet. So under the bonnet of the Peugeot 508, we have the 2-litre turbo diesel, the Hitty 16 as it claims it is, and it produces 120 kilowatts and 340 newton meters of torque, which is actually not bad at all. It's got plenty of grunt to get off the line, and obviously under the bonnet it just kind of looks like a regular engine bay. Everything's nice and pretty tidy as well, and yeah, obviously you got nice little space to work on stuff down there. You got the little oil filter down there. That's an interesting space to put it, but it's looking pretty nice. It's looking pretty good under here. It doesn't look like a car that has 194,000 kilometers on it, so that is always a positive sign. A very good job by the French. I suppose what we should do now is step into the interior of the Peugeot 508, and as you can see, it has this little drop down section here for your key if it runs out of battery, which this one probably has, so we'll just close that up. But obviously you are greeted with this very interesting looking steering wheel. It feels actually quite comfortable to hold. It's got a very big pronounced kind of center section here. Then you've got your little buttons on the side here, so volume buttons. So it's got quite a nice little squared off design, I suppose, to the side as well. You've got your little, whatever that button does. Behind that, you've got little paddle shifters as well. So they work like that. Very interesting French design. Got your little start button there, so it'll come up with that. Some very nice up-to-date graphics, I think. You got your little cup holders that come out of the dashboard here, which is actually quite a nice little feature, and they both work, unlike Volkswagens. Apparently, it's also got the factory navigation system here as well. The screen actually feels quite nice to use, which is always a positive. Got your little dashboard here. I can't get just the ignition to... Oh, it's probably because the key's not in its little key slot. So put the key in this little key slot. There we go. We got the ignition on, and this is how the infotainment looks. I think it controls through here. Media, nav. Let's take a look at the nav. Guidance options. Okay, so that works like a 2013 system that you would expect. But obviously you've got your oil temp, your fuel level, and your coolant temp as well. So that is all very nice. Oh, it's actually got 197,000 Ks. My bad. But the interior, it actually feels very nicely appointed. A lot of French cars have built up an undeserved reputation for very cheap feeling plasticky interiors, but this one actually feels really good. Volkswagen, take note here. You notice how the power button doesn't move when you rotate it? Volkswagen, take note. But obviously you've got your little controls here for media settings, and then down here you've got your aircon controls, which is all very nicely presented actually. Down here you have your sport button and your snow mode button. Automatic, of course. Standard automatic transmission. You've got your parking sensor button there as well, and then you've got your heated seats down here too. So it's actually a very well equipped car. It's also got this massive sunroof. Obviously being a wagon, it's huge, and it's also got electric seats as well, which is a very nice positive. And I think it's got the Harman Kardon sound system as well, so no doubt the speakers sound awesome in this car. And yeah, that's obviously quite a positive of buying a car. Oh wow, that's a very interestingly designed center armrest. Very cool. Your rear climate control settings are there too, which is all very nice and good. And yeah, so I think that is about it for the interior side of things. I think maybe now we should go and take this thing for a drive. Okay, so here we are in the Peugeot 508. I'm trying to... There we go, it's starting up. Cruise control paused, apparently. Well, that's lovely. That's very nice. So, yes, here we are in the Peugeot, and the seating position is pretty much right already in my position. So let's put it into drive. Release the... There we go. Release the parking brake. Parking brake applied. Never mind. How do you release it? Parking brake applied. Parking brake released. Okay, very good. Alright, we are on our merry little way in the Peugeot 508. And what do I think of it so far? Well, I'll tell you what, it's bloody comfortable to drive. I've only driven it about 20 minutes down the road. Oh, and it's got the interesting wiper blades as well. I don't know if you saw that, but it's got like the crisscross wiper blades. So you've got your digital speedometer down here as well, which is nice. But I've got to say, it's very smooth to drive. It's actually a very smooth car to drive. The window up even. Just enjoy it with the window up. Maybe I'll turn the aircon off as well. How does one do this, I wonder? AC off. How do you lower speed. There we go. Let's turn that all the way off. Okay, no aircon. And yeah, I mean it's smooth. A little bit of rattling from the rear, but not too much. It's not bad at all. It's really not bad at all. Yeah, no, it's a very, very smooth car to drive. Handles the corners pretty well. It's got a fair bit of punch as well, wow. Yeah, no, driving it along. And it's also, because it's a wagon, it's extraordinarily practical. I don't know if I don't actually think I showed the boot space, but there is a lot of space in here. And this is actually the first time I've ever driven a wagon, and I love it. It's making me want to get an R36 now. The steering wheel, after holding it for over a few... Actually, we're coming up to a little straight, so let's drop a couple gears with the manual paddle shifters and give it some. Yeah, you can definitely feel the torque, let me tell you. You can definitely feel the torque, so... No, that's nice. That's very, very nice. Coming up to our second little straight just up here, so I'll give it a little hit. Yeah, it's only got 120 kilowatts, but it feels more powerful because it's got 340 newton meters of torque. So if you've got a car with a lot of torque, oh, the indicator noise is interesting. There's not many blind spots either. It's actually a very easy car to drive. So getting it some here. The turbo noises are pretty cool too. So yeah, it actually drives really well. I've always had a negative outlook on French cars, to be fair, because the only French cars I've owned a Citroën C4 and a Peugeot 307cc, and both of them were absolute piles, I gotta tell you. But I think this is the most modern Peugeot, or French car in general, I have driven, and it actually feels really, really nice to drive. I'm actually really surprised by how well it drives. Yeah, and it's extraordinarily comfortable. These seats are so comfortable. Turn the heated seat on, actually, see how powerful that is. But it just feels really, really nice to drive. Yeah, I'm pleasantly... Like, it's obviously, it's not going to provide a very dynamic driving experience, but honestly, this really is quite comfortable. This would be a very easy car to daily around. And obviously, this has got 197,000 Ks on it. It honestly feels like it feels new. The way it drives, it actually feels new. It's very surprising. The steering, I don't know, this car's very bizarre, because the French cars are just known for being very quirky and different. And the Peugeot 508 is not a very exciting sounding name, right? But driving it along, it actually feels really nice to drive. I keep saying this because I'm very pleasantly surprised by how well this car drives. Let's test it throwing it into some corners here. See, even dynamically it feels okay. Wow. This is really surprising me. So, yeah, and then obviously you've got your sunroof. I actually don't know how this works. Oh, there you go, you got the little blade and then it's cracked a little bit, but that's fine. That's all automatic as well. Yeah, it's a really well-equipped car. It's a very well-equipped car, and these don't actually sell for that much on online at the moment. They range from, I think it's about the 5 to 10 grand mark, and you're getting a 2013 Peugeot, right? And all that practicality, all that boot space, and a very, very nice car to drive. It's very pleasant on the road. The suspension's soft, but not so soft when you throw it into a corner, it topples over. And I mean, yeah, I'm very, very pleased with this. In terms of the mechanical dramas, look, I'll be honest, I'm not very familiar with Peugeots or French cars in general. I don't really know about the things that can go wrong with these, but I have heard that timing chains are something to be worried about in some Peugeot models as well. EGR valves as well, I'm sure. But this car actually feels really, really solid to drive. So yeah, look, I'm quite impressed with this, to be quite honest. It just wafts along the road. It doesn't cause you any dramas. You've got a good sense of speed as well. It's not like, you know how sometimes you go in a car and it feels like you're going way slower than you actually are. This gives you a pretty good sense of speed, I suppose. So I feel like I'm doing 60 right now, and I am doing 60. So yeah, no, it's really, really impressive. Of course, it's very practical with its cup holders too. So the horn sounds quite funny. It's a nice little French horn. I don't really know what else to say about the car. Okay. Yeah, blind spots, they're good. You've got a very, very nice panel there to look out of. There's not many blind spots, which is very nice. But yeah, driving it along. Yeah, the transmission's pretty smooth as well. It just... yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest, it's not the most exciting car I've ever driven. So don't go buying one of these if you're expecting peak performance and a very nice, I suppose, performance-oriented driving experience. But like, well and truly, it feels so nice to drive. It's very, very comfortable. It's cornering as well. Yeah, it's just, look, I'm very surprised by it. I'm very pleasantly surprised by this car. It's very easy to drive too. So, with all that being said, pretty much me just repeating myself for the entirety of that review, should you buy one? Well, look, it depends what you're after. If you're after a practical car that's diesel, good on fuel, yeah, this would be really good on fuel as well, obviously being a diesel, then I think this is the car for you, because they're very, very affordable, and the interior is so nice as well. Like, it feels so nice in here. It's actually, yeah, because usually I don't like driving cars that aren't Volkswagens or anything like that, but this feels very nice. This feels very, very nice to drive. So I think, honestly, if you're in the market for a practical little wagon that's really good on fuel, and I'm sure the speakers sound awesome, honestly, I don't think you can really go wrong with one of these. It just feels nice. Like, I'm sorry, I keep repeating myself, but it just feels nice to drive, and it's refreshingly nice too. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just still shocked. I'm still very, very shocked because I've had such a negative experiences with Peugeots and Citroens. Even the indicator noise is nice as well, it's not annoying or anything. So yeah, look, honestly, I would actually recommend this car. I would actually recommend this car. So, I'm sorry, I can barely see it. I've got no sunnies today. Put it in park, and it's got snow mode too. It's front wheel drive, but yeah, it does have a snow mode. So I don't actually know how that works, but anyway. It is what it is. So yeah, anyway, I think that's going to be it for the review. Thank you for watching. If you've got a car you want me to review, let me know. But yeah, I'm still very, very impressed with this car. I will be honest. Yeah. Anyway, that'll be it from me, and I'll catch you in the next one.